In 1979, with two police officers arriving in an isolated farmhouse deep in the countryside. The moment they step inside, they realize something is terribly wrong. The house is eerily quiet, yet several bodies are scattered throughout the property. Everything feels disturbed, as if a nightmare unfolded there only hours earlier. While searching the house, one of the officers notices a passage leading down to the basement. He calls his partner over, and together they descend the stairs. What they discover below leaves them completely stunned. The movie doesn't reveal what they saw. Instead, the story jumps back 2 days earlier to show how this horrifying situation began. We are introduced to Maxine, an ambitious young model who dreams of becoming a superstar. Her career has not taken off yet, so to earn money and gain experience, she has been working in low-budget productions. One day, she and the rest of a small film crew travel together in a van to a remote property where they plan to shoot their next project. When they arrive, a director knocks on the door. An elderly man answers while holding a shotgun, clearly believing the visitors might be intruders. The director quickly reminds him that he had rented part of the property for filming. The old man relaxes and explains that he didn't rent out the main house. Instead, the crew will be staying in a cabin located nearby. As everyone unloads their equipment, Maxine notices an elderly woman standing silently at a window. The woman stares at her in an unsettling way, almost as if she recognizes her. Maxine brushes off the strange feeling and follows the others to the cabin. The old man also seems uncomfortable with Maxine's presence. He tells the director there were supposed to be fewer people staying on the property. After receiving a little extra money, he reluctantly agrees to let them stay. Before leaving, he gives a warning. His wife lives nearby and dislikes noise. If they cause any trouble, he will throw them out immediately. The crew begins preparing for filming. Later, while exploring the farm alone, Maxine once again notices the old woman watching her from a distance. Curious about her behavior, Maxine decides to approach her. Inside the old couple's house, Maxine immediately notices how neglected everything looks. The rooms are dusty, damaged, and strangely lifeless. As she looks around, the old woman suddenly appears behind her, startling her. The woman invites Maxine to sit down and begins sharing her story. She explains that she once dreamed of becoming a famous star herself. She had ambitions, passion, and hopes very similar to Maxine's. But those dreams never came true, and now she feels trapped in a life she never wanted. Listening to her, Maxine becomes increasingly uncomfortable. The old woman tells her that she sees the same determination in her eyes and fears she might end up suffering the same fate. Before the conversation can continue, the old woman hears someone approaching and assumes it is her husband. She quickly tells Maxine to leave through the back door because her husband doesn't like visitors. Meanwhile, filming begins. As the crew works, the old woman secretly watches Maxine from afar. The more she watches, the more she seems to imagine herself in Maxine's place. It becomes clear that she sees Maxine as a reflection of the life she lost decades ago. At the same time, jealousy begins to grow inside her. Later that evening, everyone relaxes at the cabin. During a conversation, Lauren admits she feels conflicted about the work being done. She struggles to understand how actors can perform intimate scenes while still maintaining real relationships outside of work. The director explains that acting is simply a profession. Emotions shown on camera are part of the performance and do not replace genuine feelings for loved ones. Lauren is impressed by his perspective and becomes interested in acting herself. The director immediately offers her a role. However, her fiancé RJ is uncomfortable with the idea. Although he eventually agrees, it is obvious that the decision deeply bothers him. That night, after everyone falls asleep, RJ quietly breaks down. Unable to deal with his emotions, he decides to leave the property altogether. He gets into his car and prepares to drive away. Suddenly, the old woman appears in front of him. At first, RJ assumes she is confused and needs help. He gets out of the car and tries to assist her, but the situation quickly becomes strange and uncomfortable. The old woman begins acting inappropriately toward him. RJ attempts to pull away, but her behavior suddenly becomes far more threatening. A struggle follows, and despite his efforts to escape, RJ is ultimately killed. The old woman takes his car keys and disappears into the darkness. Hours later, Lauren wakes up and notices RJ is missing. Worried, she begins searching for him. Her panic quickly spreads to the rest of the crew. The director joins the search and eventually checks a nearby barn. Unfortunately, he walks inside barefoot and steps on a nail hidden in the floor. Injured, he falls and notices a figure moving outside through small openings in the wall. As he leans closer to investigate, a deadly trap is triggered, The attack catches him completely off guard, and he is killed. It soon becomes clear that the old woman planned the entire thing in advance. Elsewhere, Lauren continues searching for RJ. She eventually encounters the old man, who appears nervous and distressed. He claims that his wife has also gone missing and insists she must be found immediately because of her unstable condition. Wanting to help, Lauren agrees. The old man directs her toward the basement. The moment she goes downstairs, he locks the door behind her. It is here that the audience realizes the horrifying truth. The old woman is not acting alone. Her husband is just as dangerous. Trapped inside the basement, Lauren desperately searches for another way out. When she shines her flashlight around the room, she discovers something so disturbing that she screams in terror. The film still refuses to fully reveal what she found, increasing the mystery surrounding the basement. Her screams awaken another member of the crew. Concerned, he approaches the old man and offers to help find the missing wife. The old man leads him toward a nearby lake. There, the young man notices a vehicle submerged in the water and begins wondering what happened. Before he can understand the situation, the old man suddenly pulls out a gun and kills him. Back in the basement, Laura manages to find an axe and begins breaking through the locked door. Just as she is about to escape, the old woman appears and threatens her, forcing her back. Meanwhile, Maxine remains unaware of most of the chaos unfolding around her. She is asleep when the old woman sneaks into her room and lies beside her. Maxine awakens in shock and screams. Bobby rushes into the room and finds the old woman behaving in a disturbing manner. Believing she is confused and mentally unstable, he attempts to escort her away. However, as they walk near the lake, the old woman deliberately puts him in danger. Moments later, Bobby is killed, leaving even fewer survivors on the property. The old woman eventually reunites with her husband. During their conversation, it becomes obvious that every death so far has been planned together. The old man asks why she remains obsessed with Maxine. The old woman admits that Maxine reminds her of the person she once wanted to become. Somehow, she feels connected to her. While the couple is distracted, Maxine slips away. Outside, she discovers RJ's body and realizes the danger surrounding her is very real. She also hears Lauren screaming for help from somewhere nearby. Arming herself with a gun, Maxine heads toward the basement and successfully frees Lauren. She urges her to escape together. Lauren, however, is overwhelmed by grief and anger. She blames everyone for what happened and decides to run off alone. The decision proves fatal. Almost immediately, the old man appears and shoots her. Hidden nearby, Maxine watches helplessly and realizes she is now the final survivor. The old woman tells her husband that perhaps they should stop searching for Maxine. She claims they no longer need her. As they begin moving bodies, something unexpected happens. Lauren is revealed to still be alive. Her sudden movement and sounds startle the old man so badly that he suffers a fatal heart attack and collapses. The old woman is devastated. Seeing an opportunity, Maxine grabs a gun and confronts her. She demands the car keys at gunpoint. Unfortunately, the weapon is empty. The old woman laughs and mocks her ambitions. She claims that Maxine will never achieve her dreams through the path she has chosen. Maxine fires back emotionally. She declares that she is destined to become a star and that one day everyone will know her name. The old woman's jealousy immediately returns. She grabs her husband's gun and attempts to shoot Maxine. But things go wrong. The weapon backfires, seriously injuring the old woman instead. Maxine survives with only minor injuries. As she prepares to leave, the old woman continues cursing her from the ground. Furious and exhausted after everything she has endured, Maxine gets in her car and drives away, ending the nightmare once and for all. Several days later, the story returns to the opening scene. The same two police officers investigate the property and discover the horrifying aftermath. Bodies are scattered throughout the house, and further evidence waits inside the basement. As they finish their search, they notice a television still running. A pastor appears on the screen, discussing his daughter. He claims society has become obsessed with entertainment and no longer recognizes evil for what it truly is. He blames the culture around him rather than accepting responsibility. Then he reveals a photograph of his daughter. To the officer's surprise, and to the audience's shock, the woman in the photograph is none other than Maxine. The film ends on this unsettling revelation, suggesting that although she escaped the massacre, her story may be far from over.